What's up, guys? We've got James Massey here with us, and we're going to break down, like many others that have joined eXp, why they've made this decision. They've gone through the headache and the pain. It's so painful trying to move a business, but if it makes sense and people are finding all kinds of reasons that it makes sense, I want to really break down why people are doing this and why people are jumping to eXp and what's that look like for each and every individual in these different decisions. So today we have James Massey. He's out of Atlanta. Him and his partner run a very sizable team, and it has grown like fire over the last couple of years. And I'm really excited to break down some of the decision-making processes that they made, especially having a team. And selfishly, I already told James, I really want to know, a lot of the decisions of why he got his license in the first place and moved to eXp with all the investor knowledge, because me and my partner have a lot of investors in our network, and I know they would love your opinion and your thoughts on why you as an investor as well have switched this business over to eXp and how does that make sense. So James, without further ado, we have James Massey on with us today. Tell us a little bit about you and why you originally got into real estate.
Man, I appreciate you having me on, Jacob. Man, I've been watching you grow. I've been watching you build your team. I've been watching what you've been doing, man. I'm inspired and, looking forward to continually our relationship and helping each other out, dude.
Absolutely.
It's funny, man, because I never really intended on selling houses as a real estate agent. I mean, I just didn't.
Same.
Right when the whole market crashed, I was in the real estate at that particular time as an investor. But when the market crashed, I really got into real estate because it's like, oh my God, houses are freaking $10, $15, $20, $30,000. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna really get into this. So I had a business before. I was actually selling cinnamon glazed roasted nuts off of a cart inside of malls and also the Braves Stadium for Turner Field. So
really,
Braves, the World Championship Braves. I gotta put that in the World Champion Braves.
Of course.
But I had like 5 locations there. I was doing real good. Basically, what I was doing, I was taking the money that I was making from that business, and I was buying houses and I was buying them cash. And I didn't have my license at that time, but I got the bright idea that, hey, I think I can do this better as far as finding my own properties than the agents that I was using. Be honest with you, I never really, liked some of the agents that I had. I never liked their work ethic. So I got my license really just to kind of cut them out. And for those people that have ever worked with investors, we're the most easiest people to get along with.
Right. Yeah. I know that can be an extremely pleasant process with agent and investor. It's delicate. There's a right way to do it like anything else, but it does, it requires, I think, a different taste, and it's a whole different process for the agent and investor, different people, at least 2 different people to work together. It's different. It's a different process.
Yep, absolutely, man. So so I really got my real estate license, and what happened is that I ended up selling the mall location. So I was really just focusing in on Turner Field. The baseball season was about to come around, and the Turner Field, the people that managed the concessions, management changed. So the guy actually gave me a call, and I was thinking that he was calling me to tell me about coming back in and bringing my equipment in and my carts and stuff. But he actually called me to cancel my contract. I always remember this date because I was in the car with me and my wife, and my wife who was going to the bicycle shop to work on our bicycles. And I got off the phone. She's looking at me. I'm looking at her. She just heard what the guy said. And, I knew the next words that I said was going to be important because, you never want to steer your wife to get her nervous or whatever. So I looked at her and I told her, I said, I guess I got to go sell some houses. so, that's literally how I got into residential real estate sales, from that moment there.
Dang, if they would have kept that contract. I just read Matthew McConaughey's book, Green Lights. You ever read that or heard of it? He would call that a green light right there. Yeah. Even if it's the stuff you don't want to have happen to you, it creates other opportunities that you never expected. Just think of where you might be today. You still might be selling snacks at the concession stands, man, and just trying to sell a few properties. That pushes you in a different direction when crap like that happens. But
it really does, man. Like, and I call them, I like to call them spiritual bumpers.
Yeah.
Right. The thing happened that I'm thinking, at the time I was thinking it was a bad thing, but actually was the best thing to get me in the direction that I really wanted to be in.
I love that, man. So you got your license, you started selling some houses. Obviously you found some success there. This is the point I like to ask a lot of people, like what the first time you ever heard of eXp? When was that, and what did that look like?
Man, the first time I heard of eXp, it was a guy, Dan actually mentioned it to me, and he was like, eXp Realty, and I'm just like, what does that stand for? What is that? What is eXp? That don't even make sense to me, right? But I really, honestly, man, I didn't really pay attention to it at first. I mean, I just came off of my highest year in real estate. We just did $500,000 in commissions that year. The team was growing, we were building, and switch a brokerage. Like, no, I don't want to switch a brokerage.
You guys were with a brokerage, right? You weren't independent.
No, we wasn't independent. We was with another brokerage. It was a smaller brokerage, but I mean, we were doing very well. So what ended up happening is that the owner of that broker decided to go up in our fees for the second time in 8 months.
Green light.
Green light. Green light. That's what that was. So, and just to tell you like how I was at the time, like, I mean, I called him and had a conversation with him. I told him, like, dude, I don't want to go nowhere, but like, I don't want to pay more. I don't want to pay no more money. Like, what's going to be different from what you did last time when you went up on our fees versus this time that you go on fees? So he was just talking, he said a couple of things, and I was like, man, that's no different than before. He ended up getting upset, and it was kind of a broker / coaching model brokerage that we was at. He said, man, if you don't like it, you can forget everything you learned and take your license elsewhere. So I was like, okay. So at this brokerage, we was like the highest, the second highest team at that brokerage, and we had only been there for like 3 years at the time.
Wow.
So like he quickly, after I think he had 24 hours to think about it, and realized what he really was doing. And at the time, I think our fees, we ended up paying him like $50,000 that previous year in broker fees. Not to mention we was paying like a coaching fee of $1,050 a month. Then we was paying for our own CRM at $700 a month. That's $1,750 a month on top of that $50,000. And now we wanted more money. It's like, nah, it ain't gonna work. So
that sounds like dinosaur model, man. What is that?
I know. It's crazy. Like
that was dinosaur model 5 years ago. Model 10 years ago.
Man, I'm just thinking like, oh my God, I can't believe that we paid that much money. Like, at that time, like it'd have been way better, like with a $16,000 cap, which we didn't have a cap before. And the opportunity for ownership, stock, and rev share, and the connection part of it. So when he said that, he came back and he said, look, I'll give you everything that you had before, keep everything the same. But at that point, the writing was on the wall.
Yeah, you
Like,
already had the gate of the mind open,
you
looking
know,
at options. Yeah.
so I started.
So
No, go
yeah,
ahead.
keep going. No, keep going.
So what I ended up doing is I looked at two brokerages. I looked at one; it was a
Yep.
transactional only brokerage,
Okay.
and then I looked at eXp. But what I noticed is all the top agents started switching over to eXp, and that's when I was introduced to Jay Kinder. I was introduced to Al Stasic, Michael Reese,
Mm-hmm.
and when I started talking to them, and basically, they had the whole coaching platform that was built behind it. That's what kind of sealed my decision that this is the right brokerage for me to be a part of.
Cool. So you saw all the support and everything that came with the group that we have, our Honey Badger Nation group, the magnificent Al and Mike and Jay. Those guys are awesome, man. And I've learned so much from those guys as well. So you looked at all this. They had they had the coaching set up with it, and you saw all the benefits with eXp. I'm sure there was a lot of business math that you did as well when you looked at this, and not just looking at obviously you're looking at what's going to help support me, what are these things that I get, right, by being here. But you did some math too. How did that compare the transaction brokerage and EXP math wise?
Yeah, I mean the math, like the transactional brokers, definitely. Everybody, most agents they talk about splits, right? That's the language, like
Yeah.
splits. So the math splits wise, it made more sense to go to the transactional brokerage. They had a cap
On the
there.
surface,
On the
right?
surface,
Right.
absolutely on the surface. I mean, they had a cap there, and it was a lower fee per deal.
And I
Um,
think that's a lot of it, what investors look at too, mind you, right? There's probably a lot of flexibility with a brokerage like that, especially when you're doing creative contracts, things like that, right?
yep.
So keep going. I just wanted to point that out because I know a lot of investors that are in my network are going to be looking at this video with you. So keep going. What was the rest of that?
So what I did know is that like who you connect with matters. The people that's in your circle matters.
Yeah,
And
100%.
I knew that if I was to get connected with the right people and be able to copy what they were doing, that was going to grow my business so much faster, and a split wouldn't matter at that point. Once I started getting connected with the right people and copying what they were doing, my business took off. I mean, we went from 36,000 in commissions to 360,000 in 12 months. Then, like I said, we went from 360 to over 500,000 that following 12 months. So, I wasn't so into the split thing. I was more so into the connection thing because I knew the connection thing would take care of the rest of it.
Yep, absolutely. Well, they've got the 3 C's at EXP, and the third one's my favorite one, right? And you're talking about that one, right? We've got the cloud-based compensation and collaboration. And collaboration was that thing like I knew from the very beginning when I saw the group of guys, the same group. I feel like you and I are we're like brothers, right? When we meet people that are already that get in this circle, they think the same way. It's like if I can do what they do, if I can copy that, right? And you're learning from a lot of the top people this way all around the world, right? It just the level of information and the amount of sharing and the way that it's compensated to do that, it's just unmatched. Everyone has what we have. It's just the way that it's incentivized and how we're able to get to each other so easily. It makes it unmatched. It spreads like wildfire, the design that we have.
Yeah,
But
man, it's crazy, dude. Like when you really think about it, like I mean, I tell people all the time, a brokerage is a brokerage is a brokerage. You can hang your license anywhere, but the beauty of eXp, in my opinion, is that it has incentivized agents to want to work together. Like I only win when somebody in my group that I bring on board wins. Jay wins when that person wins. The person above them wins when that person wins. So
I love that.
we give all, like, the playbook is wide open, like, to
Yeah.
help one another to build, because that's the only way we all are able to be successful. Jay, their whole coaching platform, they was charging like $25,000 a year to be a part of it at one time. Like I
Yeah.
said, I was paying $1,050 a month to be a part of a coaching platform, in order to build my business. Now I don't pay any. I pay $85 a month. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's insane when you really think about it. But the whole process is, I went to. I'm gonna to tell you this quick story. I went to the guy that was getting a lot of listings in my old office, and I asked him. I said, "Hey, man, can you tell me exactly what you've been able to do in order to get listings?" And I knew him. We've been out to lunch a couple of times or whatever, and he was told me like, "All right, yeah, I'll get back with you and I'll let you know." Never got back with me. So I told him, I said, look, I went back to him afterward. I said, look, man, I'm going to take you to lunch and I'm going to pay for it. I just want you to share with me some of the stuff that you've been able to do in order to get listings. And he said, all right, yeah, man. Yeah, I'm going to get back with you. We'll see, see if we can make that happen. He never got back with me. So then I said, you know what? I went to him. I said, look, dude, I'm going to pay you money. You tell me your price. What are you doing to get these listings? I'm gonna get back with you. That's what he said. Never got back with me the whole time.
Yeah, once you taking that business.
Exactly. I was considered. It dawned on me afterward. I was like, man, I'm considered competition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you align the proper way, and that's what eXp has done. When you align the proper way, everybody wins that way. And I liken it to like taxes, right? Nobody wants to pay taxes,
Right.
but like charity, charity and taxes, there is a good thing to give money to charity, just like it's a good thing to share with other people.
Right.
But there's a reason why the government gives you a tax break when you share with charities. You're incentivized to do it, so therefore you're going to do more of it, and that's what eXp is.
I love that. I mean, so many people want to say, I would never join eXp, or even people at eXp, I don't want to recruit. Whether you call it recruiting or attraction or whatever it is, I like the way that you simply put it. It's helping agents win. We're going to help. We're incentivized to help each other win. And I love the way that you just put that. So I'm going to back up a little bit because we've been talking on our eXp soapbox. I'm sure there were some reservations when you were like, I'm pretty sure we're going to do this eXp thing. What were some of the reservations that you had in that thought process you went through? Share that with us.
My reservations more so was, I mean, like, so this is my thing, right? I believe that when you know better, you do better. Mm-hmm. I believe if you're presented with a good opportunity, you're faced with a decision either to stay the same or to go down that road towards that opportunity. So the reservations was more so just, because you see other people, with their success and what they've been able to do. Your reservation is, can I do it? Mm-hmm. So it's not you can't deny that it's possible, because you're already seeing people that have done it before you. But can I do it? Mm-hmm. And the way I overcame that, to be honest with you, man, I just asked him, like, look, are you going to be able to help me with it? So it's just like for Jacob, like I already know your personality. I know how you work. I know how you operate. If somebody comes to you and they want to partner with you, you're going to show them every single thing that you've been able to do to not only grow your business, to grow your team, to grow your whole organization. Absolutely. You're going to open that up. So that was the reassurance that I needed to hear, that I wasn't going to be doing this by myself, that somebody was going to be able to help me. Yeah. Like once I overcame that, the rest of it was downhill.
Yeah. Cool, man. That's awesome. So what's been some things now that you've been here, maybe you didn't realize on the surface after analyzing all the features and benefits and bells and whistles eXp has, now that you're here, and you guys are crushing it, by the way. How many people are in your organization now?
923.
Good Lord, dude. I remember we were talking when I was trying to figure out what you were doing with events a while back, and not even a while back. It was like 2 years ago, maybe. And you guys weren't even at 500, I don't think.
Well, we were not, man. I don't think we were at 200.
Dude, you guys have grown a sizable organization. So, I mean, let's talk about that for a second. I think this is the way I've always looked at it because I started out as a wholesaler, investor, and I knew that I was a business owner. I look at the math, I'm looking at the money, I'm looking at the profitability, I'm looking at leverage, I'm looking at time. I'm looking at what do I want to, where can I, the best model, right? Where can I figure out where I'm going to create wealth for myself, right? And not have to pay an arm and a leg and have to, chew my arm off with a level of work that I have to do. I mean, just, what is that like now? Are you still investing at all, or do you still invest?
I do. I mean, I own a 52-unit apartment building.
Okay.
I've owned other apartment buildings that I've sold and, bought or whatever. I own residential houses. So, like, I don't think I'm never going to not invest. But I will say that,
you're not chasing wholesale or investment
checks.
No.
I'm not chasing wholesales. I'm not chasing investment stuff. I mean, it's not, because this model allows you to truly have an exit strategy and retire if you want to. It's a whole saying: real estate agents don't retire, they die. So so it allows you to be able to do that. It's funny, dude. Like I literally just did I did a training with our group, and I was just making the comparison between rental properties and and building a broker, what I call a brokerage within inside of a brokerage, and just making the comparison with the amount of money that I would have to actually, have in order to invest, to put my 20% down on a property versus just helping people to build out what we've been able to build out to kind of grow to that 922 people. And it's compounded. The difference is, like, that rental property that I bought, that I've had to come up with the money to put 20% down to actually get a tenant in there, to make sure I have a reserve on top of that just in case that tenant doesn't pay, and some repairs to come up there. That's one unit. That unit cannot reproduce itself. So that one unit sale can't turn it doesn't turn into multiple houses. There's just one house.
Right.
With this model that we have here, is compounded. So, like, a person that understands this model that you're able to help and bring in, not only are they going to be successful in whatever they're doing, but they're going to help so many other people, which means your whole organization grows.
Right. So I know you got to go, and you have an appointment here at the half hour, but I got two other questions I want to ask you real quick in parting. So there's a lot of investors out there that may be considering their license, especially in light of a lot of recent changes in the way we're able to market as wholesalers, right? You're able to market a property if you're not licensed, and depends on the state, depends on what you're doing and all that stuff. And there's reasons where they're wanting people to get licensed to help broker the deal, essentially, for the seller. What would you say to the investor right now that's like, I don't want to be an agent. I'm looking, and they're going to look for the low cost brokerage, right? What would you say to those people that might be open to the opportunity and looking at all the ways that they could leverage what they're doing?
Man, I honestly do. I think investors get it. I mean, because, like, we investors are, just, they're opportunists. I mean, that's really what it is. We're looking for opportunity. I mean, you can't be an investor without looking for opportunity. So, like this is the biggest, best opportunity out there anywhere in the marketplace. There's no other place that you can do or build what has been built here within eXp, within the group of the people that I know of. Like you just mentioned, 923 people within the organization. Like, that is freaking huge. Like, I was just looking at the small team that I had in Georgia, the most I had was 5 at the time, and I was just trying to build that up. So like if you want to take your business to the next level, if you want to go global, we got people in our group right now in Canada, Mexico, India, UK, just got some people in UK, like
no doubt.
all the states. If you want to go global and take your brand and your business to the next level, eXp is it.
You guys are awesome, man. All right, wrap us up. What about the agents right now? They're interested in what eXp and why it's spreading like wildfire, or maybe they're watching this and they're weighing out their options right now. And maybe it's a new agent. They're comparing brokerages. What's the one thing that you just want to scream from the mountaintops and have agents get that maybe are still analyzing, they haven't gotten it yet?
Man, I would say, man, like plug in. Like the incentive part of it. Like when you can't help if you get around a certain caliber of people. I'm not even going to say real estate agents, just people. Period. You're going to automatically elevate your life. You're going to automatically elevate whatever it is that you're dealing with. So you want to get plugged in with the right group. You want to get plugged in with, we're all part of the same group. So like, Jacob, you want to get plugged in with the right folks. If you do that, your business is going to automatically take off. So that's the best advice I can give anybody. I wish when I first got my license that I was doing this here and I didn't spend the other 5 years doing some other crap that I didn't have to do.
I love it, man. Powerful statements from James Massey. Anything else you want to share with the group before we part ways?
Man, that's it, man. Stay hungry. Never stay hungry and opportunist. Be an opportunist.
I love it, man. Not glass half full, half empty. We're going to drink water. All right. How people reach out to you? You want them to go to jameshmassey.com, send you an email, phone number? What you got?
Yeah, man. jameshmassey.com. I mean, you can, hear some stories of why I'm with eXp. You can jump on a call or whatever. Anything, I'm an open book. I mean, Jacob, at this point, dude, like it's all about sharing and giving back.
Yep. Cool. I know you guys are crushing it, man. James, I really, really appreciate your time. I know you're a busy man and you got another appointment here in just a minute, but man, I really appreciate you sharing your time and your insight, especially from the investor standpoint. And if I can ever return the favor, I feel like this was cut short too, man. I know you got a lot of goodies in that head of yours, and I might get you back on somehow if that's okay with you.
Man, absolutely, man. I love to be back. I grind, I hustle, I execute. Let's do it, baby.
I love it. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Peace.